All right, so this is gonna be another episode where we go into Google search. We see what's currently occurring. Has Google changed the search results at all? Are the Google Business Profiles different? Is just the search results page changed at all? What are some of the current ranking websites doing to their pages? Is there anything that we can learn from them? Is there anything that we can take away from what they're doing? Is there anything that maybe we disagree with what they're doing or some things that they could be doing better? The whole point of this is to just see what's happening in search and then also give you guys the opportunity to ask me questions, or if you want to link your Google Business Profile, or if you want to drop your website URL in chat, I will look over them live. And so for today, what I wanted to do is we're going to do bathroom remodeler. Let's see here. So bathroom remodeler. Where do we want to search this? Let's do Fort Worth. So let's change that to remodeler. Okay. So we're searching for the keyword bathroom remodeler, Fort Worth, Texas. We're just going to see what's currently happening in search, what's currently ranking. Has Google changed anything? Are we getting any ads? What do those ads look like? What are people doing to their Google Business Profiles? And so currently we automatically in the first position, we already see a exact match Google Business Profile name. You got DFW bathroom remodeling. Looking at some of these other Google Business Profile names, and this is such a common thing, guys. When you're picking the name of your Google Business Profile, make sure you have the keyword in there. I'm a little against having DFW. When you go to expand or open that second location and what have you, I'm slightly against putting the location or the city in the name. But if you just plan on having one location, like as we can see, I searched and they're appearing first in rank. So this Chrome extension on the right side, this is called Plepper, Plepper. Great Chrome extension, highly recommended. It's free. We can see that their top category is bathroom remodeler, so this is great. We can see that they got 58 services, and so this is interesting. So we can see the different keyword and keyword variations they have for bathtub. We can see here that they got bathtub installation, bathtub refinishing, bathtub reglazing, bathtub repair, bathtub replacement, bathtub resurfacing. So what they're doing is great. They not only have the top level keyword, which I would assume for this is bathtub repair, but then they also have all of the keyword variations that would go with that as well. And then we can see here another instance of them having this top level keyword and then having all of these different variations. We can see here they got bathroom countertop resurfacing. So this is even a long tail keyword, which is just 3 words put together. They've also got bathroom fixtures, bathroom remodeling DFW, bathroom remodeling Dallas, bathroom remodeling near me, bathroom renovation, bathroom renovations. So they just add an S to the end of that other service, and they're picking up another keyword variation, which is smart, which is a great idea. And so those are all of their 58 services. So let's take a look at some other Google Business Profiles. So this one, we've got bathroom remodeler as their top level category, which is great. They got flooring contractor, general contractor, kitchen remodeling, and painting. Okay. They've got 95 services. So again, seeing a high level of services listed on the Google Business Profile. And again, we can see here all of these keyword and keyword variations. So you got kitchen and bath design, kitchen and bathroom remodeling, kitchen remodeling backsplash, kitchen remodeling ideas. So it looks like these guys may do more home remodeling, and you can even see it in the name, right? Home remodeling, than these guys who are just trying to rank for bathroom remodeling. Then we got this third Google Business Profile down here. Top category again, bathroom remodeler, which is great. You got interior construction contractor, and then remodeler, and then tile contractor. 32 services, interesting. Photo counts 286. What were these other ones? Especially with remodeling being such a visual service or product, seeing these high photo counts is a base assumption I would make about this service. People want to see the before and after. And because of this, because it is such a visual service, yeah, we can even see here with this one, photo count 69. There are going to be these influences certain keywords or certain services have on the ranking factors. So when I say this, what I mean is that if something's more technical, it has or requires more text to describe or show what's occurring, the product or service. Like if someone was a CPA or a lawyer, right? That is not something that is very visual when you expect the product or the service. With bathroom remodeling, or as another example, listing of like flooring contractors, you're visually thinking about the product or service being installed or the bathroom being remodeled. So these keywords, these services, or these products are going to have an influence on the ranking factors that determine how to rank for this keyword or this service. So what we'll probably also see when we go to look at their websites is that a lot of these websites in the search results, when we get off of the Google Business Profiles, are probably also going to match that high photo count we see in the Google Business Profile, where the websites themselves are going to have a high photo count than what would be considered traditional or on average when you look across all of these different keywords or different search terms. So I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary from these. I really like them having these videos on their profile. Again, just that getting your bathroom remodeled is just such a visual experience. Not only does this bode well with Google, but if someone is looking to get their bathroom remodeled, they're going to want to visually see your previous work and what they're going to experience after the service is done. So this is just another great example of what you need to be doing on your Google Business Profile. Yeah, just simple little videos. This is great. If you guys have any questions, make sure to drop them in the chat. If you've got your own Google Business Profile you'd like me to look at, you can link it in chat and I'll look over it. Then also, if you have a website, I can also look over that as well. So I like what they're doing here. So even if you don't have a appointment setting software like Calendly or like a Google Meeting or what have you, they're still pointing this appointments field on the Google Business Profile to a page on their website. And honestly, you could point it to your homepage if you wanted to. But this is a great example of what to do is point it to your contact page. So when I click this, I'm not, well, actually, we'll see. Yeah. So I'm taken to their contact page on their website. And so this is just another little section, another field on the Google Business Profile that you can easily fill out. So I'm just looking over their profile. They got the areas that they serve. They've got this appointments URL, very high on average rating, 4.9. They've got 94 reviews. This is awesome. This looks great. They've got their website linked, directions. So this means they've verified their address. They're not a service area based Google Business Profile. Looking at this other one, luxury home remodeling, DFW. Okay. 99 services, which looks great. Again, a whole bunch of just different keywords and keyword variations. These like top 5 Google Business Profiles are great examples to base what you want to have on yours. They've got high service count, high photo counts. There was one with like 377, like another one with 300, another one with 300, and then we have this one with 326. They're a .net. Is that right? Is their website really a .net? That I would not. I would always have your top level domain be a .com. Now that I've seen this, I'm really curious on if this affects their rankings in the search results. So this was luxuryhomeremodeling.net. Let's see where they're in the 1, 2, 3. They're in the 4th position. That's interesting. Is it because I interacted with the profile? No, they're appearing in the 4th position with a .net. I would not have assumed that. I always go with having a .com domain. It is a ranking factor. 9 times out of 10 that those are going to be the types of top level domains that are ranking in Google. So this is really surprising to me that they're a .net and they're in the 1, 2, 3. They're in the 4th position on the search results. This also might be an indicator that this is a lower competition keyword. Not only is it because there's a .net ranking, as you go down the search results, we can see a lot of these directory sites. So we got Thumbtack, we've got Yelp, and we have Home Advisor, which is currently blocking me for some reason. So Yelp, Home Advisor are both blocking me, but there's still these directory sites which are really easy to beat out. A lot of people will get scared or concerned that they'll see Amazon, they'll see Yelp, they'll see these large directory sites ranking in the search results. But what you need to think of is that the root or their homepage or the trunk, like a tree, has all of the authority, right? Because these sites are so large, as you travel from the tree trunk to these individual branches, from these branches to these individual leaves or pages, a lot of that authority is lost. Now, when you go, and let's do it right here, and you check the DR of like Yelp.com as an example, it is of concern. Oh, I spelled Yelp wrong. It is concerning when you look at the overall authority that Yelp does have. But what you need to consider is that This is the top level domain. This is the home page that has this authority or this ranking. When you're looking at these individual pages, right? So we start with yelp.com as the trunk, the base of the tree. As we go further and further from the home page, as we go further from the tree to the individual leaves, the individual pages, you lose a lot of this authority. So when you see Yelp ranking for a keyword, it's actually a good signal that it's not that hard to rank for. And also, the fact that I'm seeing these other, you got Thumbtack, and then you've got one more, you got Home Advisor. These large directories, yes, the base, the root, the top level domain, their homepage has this, right? And this looks scary, this authority or what have you, right? However we want to describe this. But at the individual pages, it's really not, they're really not that hard to beat, because their individual pages, right, as we go down to these listings or these directory pages, right, those are not going to have the backlinks to them like their homepage does. So oftentimes what you can do is you can get 15, 30, a couple dozen backlinks to your individual pages or even to your homepage. And then you can easily beat out Yelp, Thumbtack, or Home Advisor, right? When you see these, do not get scared. These are actually very easy to beat, and even seeing these actually gives me more confidence that this would actually be a really easy keyword to rank for. If you have any questions, or if you want to look over your website or your Google Business Profile, link it into the chat or ask your question in chat and I'll answer them here live. What we're doing right now is I'm just searching keywords. So bathroom remodeler, Fort Worth, Texas. We're seeing what is currently ranking, what is currently going on. Is Google changing the search results in any way? Is there anything that we can take away from these websites? Is there anything that we would want to do different or want to do better than these websites? So let's actually go to this, because let's go to the first search results and see what is occurring. So this is a location page from what looks like to be a bigger brand. Oh, nope, I don't want to be French. I want to stay in English. So let's see. Is there a way to see how many locations that they have? I really just want to see how big this brand is. And because it's constructed like this has me thinking that it is a way bigger brand. So let's go and remove the Dallas Fort Worth. So is there a location? There's no, okay. So then let's just look at the individual page. So let's see what they got going on. Ahrefs Chrome extension, great Chrome extension to have. So right now what it's showing me is that the title tag and the meta description, something that's hilarious to me is that the meta description is longer than what's always suggested or touted as a rule of 160 characters. Just so you know, you can put more than 160 characters in your meta description. There are even some sites that are currently ranking right now that have 2 meta descriptions, and they also have 2 title tags. Another thing with title tags is that you can put more than 60 characters in it. A lot of these tools and a lot of people will say that you can only have a certain amount of characters if there's a character limit in your title tag and your meta description. I have recently tested the title tag with how many characters I can get into it, and Google will still accept it. So I placed 1 million keywords in the title tag, and I searched in Google the URL, then the keyword that I'm looking for, and it wasn't until the 160,000th keyword that my site stopped appearing. So that means I can get 160,000 keywords in my title tag if I wanted to, and Google will still index it and still serve my page in the search results. Now, I'm not saying to do this. I'm not advising you to go and put 160,000 keywords in your title tag. All I'm saying is that the 60 character limit that has been set by everyone but Google is not a hard set rule that you have to abide by. So we're going to go back to looking at this page. What I'm really curious is how many images are they using? So 1, 2. So we've got a couple. Wow. So let's go through here. 1, 2. Oh, we did say 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4 images here. We've got a map here. Is this a Google Business Profile map? How does this work? Looks like just an internal map that they built. See counties and cities served. Okay, so I really like this. So this is something that I talk about quite frequently is when we are putting the SEO on page, we do not have to create these skyscraper articles that remove the experience the customer or our client has. We can place a majority of our SEO in these little accordions where if they actually want the information, it's there. But a majority of the time, they're not going to want to see this, right? But for us as SEOs trying to rank these pages, placing it in accordions or other methods of placing the SEO on page, right? We can get away with essentially hiding it or not removing our customer's experience when they're on the site. So if we had like 5 or 6 of these, let's say we had FAQs as well, you keep going, right, on and on, by having these little sections where we're placing more relevant information about the page. Right here, they're placing information to help rank geographically, right? This is adding geo relevance to rank specifically in Dallas-Fort Worth. They're talking about all the relevant counties to Dallas-Fort Worth. And they're also talking about the cities around there as well. Now, this happens to be also the counties and cities that they serve. So it's getting them twofold. It's not only telling the customer if they were to click to see where they serve, but it's also showing Google, okay, when Google comes to crawl this page, it sees the raw code. It's not hidden like it is for us, like our view. So it sees all of these references to geographically relevant entities like Dallas County, Tarrant County, or to cities like Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Denton, right? So those are some things. And then also, as we go, so they have 4 images up here. They've got an image here. They've got, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They got 9 images so far. We got 10 images. Okay. So because remodeling, the keyword that we search for, right, bathroom remodeler, Fort Worth, Texas, is such a visual product or service, I would expect that having a higher image count is a ranking factor specifically for this product or service. So another thing is that they've got this carousel of customer reviews. Not only is this a big conversion rate section, this is a big trust signal for the people that are looking for the service, right? But this is also another opportunity for us to get our SEO on page. Right now, we only see 3 of the reviews, but we could get another 15, another 20, another 30, 50 reviews in this carousel or constructed in a different manner, right? to where we have a whole bunch of additional text on page to where it's not removing the customer experience because of how we've constructed the page, right? If this isn't a carousel, someone would have to click this 15, 30 times to see all the reviews. But for Google, when it comes by, it doesn't see this the way we do. It will just see the raw text, the raw code when it comes and crawls the page. So this gives us the opportunity to place more entities, more LSI terms, more keywords, more bolded terms, more listicles, what have you, on page so that we can place our SEO optimization in ways that doesn't remove that experience for someone comes to look at our page, right? Another thing, because this service is such a visual service, we have more images on our page. In our alt text on all of these images, we can get verbose about what is in the image, what type of tile is being used, where was this done, add more geo-relevance to our page in our alt text on the images that are being displayed on page, right? We can talk about the grout. We can talk about you can get super verbose on your images. You can get like 2 to 3 sentences, 4 sentences if you wanted to. And this is just another instance of us getting SEO on page to help us rank our page. Now, this is great. Having social links going outbound to social profiles is also a ranking factor. So this is great that they have these here. And then they've also got their frequently asked questions, which is another zone that you can get the SEO you're trying to get on the page. If they wanted to, they can come through here and even bold some of these words, which is another ranking factor. So that's their page, it looks pretty standard. They've got bathroom remodeling in Arlington, Dallas, and Fort Worth. They've got the address. They've got a area code, phone number, hours of operation. Let's look at their heading structure. H1 is bathroom remodeling in Arlington, Dallas, and Fort Worth, which is great. Proudly serving DFW. I would want more keyword variations in my heading tags. Not a ton of keywords or keyword variations in the heading tags. So they've got bathroom remodeling solutions here again. This is good. But I'm interesting. So if we're going to right click view page source. Oh, is this? Oh, no. We're going to do bathroom remodeling. So they got bathroom remodeling 17 times. What happens if we just do remodeling 14? What happens if we just do remodel 72 times? So they've got the keyword on page quite a bit. What would really tell us is the other search results. How many times do they have the keyword on page? So let's go to bath tune-up. So for me, these look like these are giant corporations. There's no like individual businesses or shops. Yeah, because this just looks like a giant corporation. This doesn't look like it's an individual small business. So that's a surface area based bathroom tune-up. So let's go look back up here to the Google Business Profiles. Yeah, so they're not even on the first page, which is interesting. When you click the link to their Google Business Profile, what we can see here is that this is great. First off, this is great that they are linking to their actual Google Business Profile. A overwhelming majority of the time when I do these audits or when I look at websites, they will have the embed rather to like a different city, a different state, or even not even to their own Google business profile, which this is something that you can go check really quickly, is go on your site, scroll all the way down to the bottom, click the actual embed and see where does it take you. Now, they're not doing an embed on theirs. They just have a social icon with a link to their Google business profile, which is still great. My only question is that because I'm seeing the brand name, the city, and then I'm seeing NW, this is leading me to believe that this is a giant or a bigger corporation that has a ton of locations. And so just searching the brand name, I'm already getting a locations page. So this is confirming my suspicion, and we can see here that they've got a ton of locations, which may explain why this is a service area based Google business profile. But it also leads me to question, why is it a service area based profile? Why don't we have a physical address location? Okay. Is Google not working? There we go. Yeah, so it's showing me the same profile. So they're posting on the profile, which is great. They've got all of their social media profiles linked. They've got the description fully filled out, which is awesome. They've got their own individual social profiles. They're linked on all of these directories. They've got an individual Facebook, Instagram. This is great. What I was curious to see is if they have multiple locations in Fort Worth. And that's why, yeah, they do. Okay, so let's go look at these. Because what I'm curious is why is that location a service area based profile? Why don't they have multiple commercial locations? So it looks like this one is also a service area based profile. And it's also looking like this one is also a service area based profile, which doesn't make too much sense to me. What I'm wondering is, do they have some kind of incentive or structure within their business to where there are these individual remodelers, right, that don't want to go and build their own brand and so would rather work under a like a franchise model, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just interesting that they're not doing physical addresses verified. And what I mean by that is on their Google business profile, why is it not verified address? Like, why can't I get directions to this? Why are we doing a service area based profile? And what honestly is coming to my mind right now is that they may not be doing Google as their primary source of traffic. They may have a network, or they may do ads, paid ads, what have you, to get traffic for these individual contractors. Right now, guaranteed, this is just from an outside perspective. I haven't actually spoken to this company or these individual locations of how this is structured, but this is super interesting to me, and I would love to know the reasoning for not doing physical addresses verified, because you can get a office or a space for relatively inexpensive pricing for like $300 to like $500 a month. You can get the signage and everything set up to facilitate getting a physical verified address Google business profile. So there's probably some reason why they don't do this. But again, I think it's a big misstep, and I think they should definitely do that. Because even this one, this seems like it's not even branded to a specific location or a specific contractor. For this seems like it's just their own profile, and then maybe what they do is they will syndicate it to the people that maybe I think of a better way of thinking about this is considering that it's in network, right? So if you're in network with this company, then their own profile that they have here that's not assigned to somebody, what they'll do is they'll probably take the lead, figure out what the lead wants, and then give it to someone that is within their network, within their brand network, right? But again, interesting that this is occurring. Huh. This also gives me more confidence that this is. Now, I may be wrong, but it looks like this is way easy. Bathroom remodeler Fort Worth, Texas might be easier to rank for than what I would normally think. So, for anyone joining, what we're doing is we are searching a keyword in Google, bathroom remodeler Fort Worth, Texas. We're seeing what is currently ranking for Google Business Profiles or websites. Then, from those, we're trying to figure out okay, what can we take away? What are other people doing that maybe we should consider doing? Then, also from the website, how is the website currently being constructed? What are they doing on their site? What are some things that, again, can we learn from or consider testing or even just straight up applying to our own sites to help us rank, right? So the keyword we searched for is bathroom remodeler, and we're just looking at the Google search results. Let's go back to the websites. So that was the first two. Let's go ahead and clean this up as well. We got Thumbtack, I'm not going to look at. Yelp, I'm not going to look at. These are just directories, which are easy to beat. Then we have a .net, which is interesting to me. So home and bathroom remodeling contractors. So this looks like another directory. Contractors near Fort Worth. So this is really fascinating to me because I'm wondering, am I getting this experience because I'm nowhere near Fort Worth? I'm currently in Ottawa, Canada, and so because I'm not actually in Fort Worth, is that why Google is feeding me search results that are a majority of these directories, or these results are of companies that are not actually like individual small business owners? There are these giant corporations. But either way, so looking over their site, the word count is 3,500, which is pretty high. That's interesting. H1's Dallas Fort Worth. Actually, how are they? Because I don't see Dallas Fort Worth on this page. So I wonder how are they getting their first H1 to be Dallas Fort Worth? Let's see what they're doing in the code. Is it that? What is this? How are they? Let's do inspect. Let's do this. Or actually, let's do this. Control F. Dallas Fort Worth. Did it find it? That's 2, 1. I'm trying to see because it says that their first H1 is or does have this keyword in it, but it's not being displayed on the site. So I'm trying to figure out how are they hiding it? Or where are they placing it? So that's the title. Dallas Fort Worth. Okay. So now where's the so then there's another title. Okay. Meta property. Okay. Now are we gonna get the H1? Okay. So there's the H1. So let's move this back over. Let's see if we can make this visible or more optically pleasant. Let's close this. Let's look at this. Why? Okay, so why am I now seeing that H1? Is that because okay, so right now it's not there, but in here it is. So they have a div tag or a span. They're hiding this. That is fascinating. So this is another SEO tactic that you can do is you can use styling like CSS styling, what have you, to hide keywords, H tags, really anything so that it's not displayed to the person, but it's displayed to Google, right? So when we go and look at this page, we do not see that this has that H1 as Dallas Fort Worth. When we start to inspect it and we start to look at this, we can see that they're using a CSS styling to hide this from our view, but in Google's view, that H tag is there. But what I also want to check is that maybe it's only for phones. So if I'm on a phone viewport, okay, it's there. But when I'm on desktop, it doesn't appear there. Dallas Fort Worth home and bathroom remodeling contractors. But when I'm on a normal viewport, it's not there. Well, actually, let me see. Is it because, yeah, no. Huh. So I'm wondering if that's intentional because it looks intentional, but I could be misreading this is because it's just not shown on desktop view, but it's shown on mobile. So it just might be like a different breakpoint, but this is technically hidden, which is something that you can do is have certain styling around certain text to hide your SEO. But what also doesn't make sense is that this is its own H tag. So I'd like to believe that this is an intentional, but that also doesn't make sense. But either way, so that was cool to discover. You got big photos one day. You got all these images. Do these images have alt text on them? Oh, missing empty alt text on almost all of these images. So that's something they could easily go through and do. There's a lot of text on this page. So again, something that you can do is that instead of having all of this text below each of these icons, you can make these icons so that they're clickable. When someone clicks it, it then flips and then displays all of this text so that your SEO isn't taking away the experience of when people go and visit your site. Because right now, I have to scroll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Scroll like 15 times to see all of the content on this page. Like this is a ton of text on page for almost no reason. So this is good. They've got more images. Remodeling is such a visual service. So with this, I would think that having a high image count would lead to a higher ranking. So then they've got a whole bunch of links out here. Having this anchor text with these keywords and keyword variations is great. Not only that, but because they have home remodeling in their domain name, then they have so many of these links on this page. What they're effectively doing is they're getting more keywords on page, right? If we were to look for the keyword remodel, they are getting remodel once, not only in the domain name, but every time that they have a internal link on page, they're getting another instance of a keyword on page. So we can see here, they've got this link that goes to luxury bathroom remodeling. So not only are they getting it in the domain name, right, because it has luxury home remodeling, so remodeling's there, but they've also got it for a specific page that is luxury bathroom remodeling. So that is 2 more instances on page of their keyword just because they placed the keyword in their domain name and then also in their URL structure, right? That / luxury home remodeling then also has another instance of the keyword, which is great. And then not only that, they've got all of these other different variations of that specific keyword and then the horizontal or adjacent keywords. And also thinking about it, they're getting more LSI terms, entities on page because they have that structure. Again, so we've got, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12. So we've got 16, 17, 18. We've got 18 photos, 19 photos on page, which just then shows that with visual services or products, you're going to want more images on page because everyone else is going to have that. So it's going to have a major influence on the ranking factors. And again, a lot of this text doesn't need to be this visible. We can easily have a photo or what have you of a terracotta, and then hide all of this wall of text because right now this is like essentially a skyscraper article. And then also this ginormous wall of text. Nobody's reading this. This is completely unnecessary. They've got their locations and what looks like the footer, which is great. They not only have the cities, but they've also got the, I guess what would you call these, counties? Phone number. Okay, so that was interesting. Little bit of hiding their SEO by having this H1 tag, a little CSS style differently so you can't see it. Let's go to this one. Let's go ahead and accept. So again, we're just kind of looking at their SEO. Okay, what is this? So this is new. Salvation Home Remodeling, is that the name of the company? Yeah. So they have these brands, James Hardy. They've got Better Business Bureau, Home Advisor. I can't. So that's interesting. It stopped working. So let me refresh the page. So when you click on this, it takes you to their Google Business profile, takes you to the link that automatically opens the review page or the review section, which is great. But I've never seen someone do this. They'll have a carousel banner that links to their review page, which is it's smart. It's something you can do. I don't understand why we have that, and then we have a testimonials page. I'd rather just not have it take us to a different page. What I would do is I would have this open up, and then there'd be another section with all of the testimonials and the reviews. Even though it takes a click to go and view them, what we're still able to do is Google will come by and crawl the code, and it will see all of the text that would be normally left in here. So what happens if I hit read more? Read more opens it up fuller. Okay. How is this being pulled on page? So Ahrefs raw versus rendered. So this is entirely rendered, or not entirely, a large portion of it. Yeah, so all of these reviews are being rendered, which is not good. So then let's go back to the home page. Let's go and look how much of the home page is raw versus rendered. Oh, so the testimonials again. So if I had to guess, this is a WordPress site. Yep, so it's WordPress. And they are using, what plugin are they using? They're using some sort of plugin to pull in the testimonials or the reviews from their Google Business Profile. I don't like this because it requires JavaScript or rendering. And 9 times out of 10, when Google comes by to view the page, it does not have rendering enabled. So a majority of the time when Google is going by to see what is on page, it's not seeing the review content you're placing because your plugin is requiring that there needs to be rendering to have JavaScript to render that content for it to be displayed on page. So looking at their URL structure, they've got non-dub-dub. Their canonical tag is non-dub-dub. Their canonical tag does have the trailing slash though, so you're still getting a 301 redirect. Looking more at the page, so remodeling services we're known for. I really like this because they're using the exact match for the keyword that the page is trying to target, or at least I think they are. So let's hit inspect. Let's look at this. I'm actually gonna take a drink of water real quick. So let's see. How are they? Let's refresh this. Okay. Oh, there we go. So Ahrefs to this. That's in that. We're just looking at the code. Okay. So I like how having all of these links front and center on the page, this not only helps if someone is looking for that specific service, but what it also does is when Google comes and crawls the homepage, it can instantly go and find all of these URLs. So then you get a better crawl depth and a better crawl rate because all of your URLs are easy to be found by Google. You don't want to have happen is it takes 6 clicks or what have you for Google to come and find that URL or that page. Ideally, what you want to occur is Google finds your homepage. From the navigation, it finds a lot of your hubs, or from like your footer navigation, you have links to a lot of these categories or hubs, like your blog, your locations, your services hubs, right? From those, it will find all the URLs on those pages. So then from homepage to hub, right, to all, and then to all those individual, you're only looking at like 2 to 3 clicks. What this does is that it makes it easier for when Google comes by and crawls everything, it finds all the URLs to then follow, to then find your individual pages, to then crawl those. And so it helps with a crawl depth, right? Google can come by and crawl deep into your site, reach all of your end pages. Because instead, what can occur is, let's say Google only follows 3 clicks or 4 clicks, and you have a daisy chain of links to one page. What I mean by that is that you have your home page, it links to this page, right, links to this page, no other external links, okay? Then this page links to this page, and then it just keeps occurring, right? With no other external links, what happens is that Google has to make a daisy chain of clicks to these individual pages to get to the bottom or to get to a full crawl depth of all the pages you have on your site, which then hurts you significantly. Not only does it show Google, hey, this page isn't important, but then if you go to make an update, Google isn't coming by as often because it's difficult for it to find the URL. So what you want to occur is, like I said, is you have these hubs where you go to these lists of your URLs essentially, and Google can easily find all of these pages at the end of your site and get a full crawl depth. So again, this is awesome. They've got these links to all of their cities that they serve. They've got a link to their Google Business Profile, which is great. Oh, is this a service area based? No, I can get directions. Is this a home? So they're using their home as their Google Business Profile, and they've got a physical verified address at their home, which is interesting. You can get away with this. The only issue is that if you get caught, then you can get suspended. So it's really dependent on how much risk you're willing to take. If that's something you're interested in, you can definitely try. What I would recommend is that you go rent a commercial space for like $300, $500 a month so that you can get a compliant physical verified address with Google. But what I also really like about how they're linking to these individual pages is because this is the anchor text, they're getting that exact match anchor text for the keyword they're trying to target, right? Someone looking for remodeling in Fort Worth, Texas, this anchor text is great. Not only that, in the URL structure they have that they're linking to, the page that they're linking to, the URL structure is in the bottom left, I'll say it is. So they've got their top level domain, they got service areas, and they've got / remodeling Fort Worth, Texas. So not only does their URL structure target that specific keyword that they're looking to target, but also the anchor text that they're using to link to that page is also relevant and a almost exact match to the keyword that they're trying to target, which is also great. They've got a lot of good things going on here. Not only that, because they have that URL structure, they also have a ton of links on the page. So as we look through this entire page, we can see that they are linking to a lot of their service areas, their services. In the URL structure that they have going on, they have the keyword that they're wanting to rank for in general. They want to do remodeling, right? So because they're doing this URL structure and they're linking to it on page, in the code on the site as a whole, in absolute, they are getting more instances of remodeling on page. That's their top level keyword that they're trying to target. So what I mean by this is that if you were to look at how many times the word remodeling occurs on page, they are going to have a really high total amount because they have their URL structure set up that it has remodeling in it, right? Their top level keyword. And they're also linking to it a couple dozen times on this page. And so that comes into the factor when you're considering your keyword total amount and your keyword density. So that was just another episode of us going in Google, seeing what's occurring currently. What are some SEOs doing to their sites? What are people doing to their Google business profiles to help it rank? Has anything in Google changed? Are the results changed? We got a few good takeaways of some things to consider trying, like that one site that had styling around their H1, so it was hidden on the desktop view. And so, thank you for everyone tuning in today.